Alright, so today we're learning to graph story problems. We're going to be given the rate of change, which is just a fancy word for slope. And you're going to be given a random point, so a random x, y point. I'm going to do one example with you, then you're going to pause the video and try the second example on your own, and then you can play and see how you did. And then you'll work on, I think it's 6 story problems as homework with your group mates. But before we get started, I just want to thank you guys. I went to school yesterday after I left Belle Prairie, so it was around 5 o'clock, so it was kind of late. I was a little tired, and I was scared to read the subnotes, but I read them, and they were so good. Thank you guys for following directions and being the students that I know you can be. I so appreciate it, and I'm so excited to see you on Wednesday. That being said, let's go ahead and do our first example. Actually, our only example, and I made it about me. Miss Whitaker spends an average of $27 a week on coffee, which is probably an underestimate. I bet you I spend more than that. After 3 weeks, she has $108 left in her bank account. We're going to do a whole bunch of stuff with just this little word problem right here. So the first thing we have to identify is the slope. What is the thing that's happening every single week? And so every single week, I'm spending about 27 bucks on coffee. And I'm spending $27. So I'm losing $27 a week. So negative, oopsies, 27 is my slope. Okay, that looks terrible. Let me write that again. So negative 27 is my slope, or negative 27 over 1. I lose $27 every week. Now for the point. Usually we're given a y-intercept, so a starting point. But this time we're given a random point. So if you look at the second sentence, it says after 3 weeks, she has $108 left in her bank account. So remember how slope is the change that's happening in y all over the change that's happening in x. If I lose $27, that means dollars is my y. And if I do that every week, that means week is my x. And so my point is after 3 weeks, I have this much left in my bank account. That's my point. So from this, knowing all of this information, I need to fill in my table. Well, I already put the point in my table right here. Ta-da! I am going to fill in the rest of it. So after 3 weeks, I only have $108 left. Remember, I was losing money. So to get from here to here, I was subtracting 27. But I need to move backwards. I need to fill in what's behind my table. Or behind. I need to go backwards. So from here to here, I'm moving backwards. I would add 27. So 108 plus 27. Let me grab my phone so I have a calculator. Plus 27 equals 135. So this week I had $135. How many did I have this week? So I'm going to add 27. I had $162. And then I'm going to add 27 again. Clear, clear, clear. And I have $189 when I added 27 again. Okay, so from this, I want to try to write my equation. Y is equal to mx plus b. We already know what m is, my slope. So I know it's y is equal to negative 27x. And then what about my b? I don't know my b using the point, because that doesn't help me with anything. That's not my y-intercept. Because I know my y-intercept is where x is 0. So my equation, I'm going to actually rewrite this because this looks sloppy. My equation is y is equal to negative 27x plus What is y when x is 0? 189. From this information, I want to graph it. And so we have to label our axes. Let's switch to a different color. Purple. And so my x-axis is this, and it was 0, 1, 2, 3, but that stands for my weeks. So 0 goes here. I'm going to put 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, 5 here. I'm just going to fill some stuff in. There are my weeks. And then my y-axis is my money. How much am I spending? I wonder if I can grab this little equation. Nope, just kidding. JK. Okay. And so this is my money. Let's see, how do we want to label this? We could go by maybe 25, like every other. I think it'll fit. If I put 25 here, and then skip 2 and put 50 here. And then we'll put 75 here. 100's there. 125. 150. 175. And then 200. I think that worked. So this is 25, 50, 75, 100. 125, 150, 175, and then 200 will be up there. Perfect. Okay, let's graph what we have. So my y-intercept was 0, 189, which we know is like here-ish. And then after 1 week, I'm down to $162, which is like here-ish. Then after 3 weeks, 2 weeks, I'm down to $135, which is like there-ish. And after 3, I'm down to 108, which is like there-ish. Here is my linear equation. This looks really sloppy, but at least it looks colorful. Let's answer some questions about this problem. So what does x represent in this problem? We labeled our x-axis. Do you remember? Weeks. Remember, x and y don't represent a number. They represent what's happening within the problem. What am I inputting? I'm inputting weeks. What am I outputting? Money. I'm losing money. Oh, whoops. How much money? Haha. Did Miss Whitaker have in her account to begin with? So before I started spending, before it was 1 week into this whole Starbucks extravaganza, how much money did I have? And that is my y-intercept. And if I remember correctly, it was $189 is what I started with. How do you find this? Looking at the table, where x is 0. How do I find this looking at the graph? The y-axis. How do I find this looking at the equation? The number that's by itself. Ta-da! If you don't have any of this down, go ahead and pause the video. Make sure you have these things down. They'll be very helpful when you do your homework. Okay. This is the problem that I would like for you to try to do on your own. It's a little depressing, talking about student dropout rate. P.S. This is not a true-to-life example. This is not an example of Oak Park. We don't have any students drop out ever. We have a great graduation rate. So what I would like for you to do is pause the video, start trying this on your own. Once you guys have hit a good spot, you can unpause it, and then hopefully all of my answers will be up there for you to see. Good luck. Okay, did you get the right slope? If they're dropping out, they're leaving, the population's going down, -4. And then my point is 4,216. Keep going. Not gonna lie, the table was a little tricky. Tables aren't always going to go by ones. This one went by twos. So did you catch that? You could have added the 1, the 3, and the 5 in, and then you could have subtracted 4, added 4, depending on which way you're going. But the actual points are 0, 232, 2, 224. You already knew 4, 216, and then 6, 208. So your equation, y is equal to negative 4x, and I'm starting at 232. So let's graph it. So I did my months by ones, and then I did what we call breaking the axis, so I don't have to go like by 1, 2, 3, 4, or by tens, 20s, or by hundreds. I broke it, started at 200, and then went up by 5. It's a secret math thing. So I'm going to go ahead and graph my points. So I have 0 and 232. I have 2 months and 224. I have 4 months and 216. And then 6 months and 208. So there is what your graph would look like. And now for the questions. Take a minute, see if you can come up with these answers, and then start playing the video again and see if you got them right. So pause right now. Okay, how'd you do? Months, students, 232, where x is 0, the y-intercept, and the number that's by itself. If you didn't get those, discuss them as a class, see what went wrong, make sure we're all on the same page. And this is what you're going to be doing for the rest of the hour. You guys have 6 stories for homework. For each story, you're going to identify the slope and the point, just like we did. You're going to tell me what x represents in the story, and you're going to tell me by labeling your axes. So that's how you're going to tell me what x and y is within the story. You're going to graph the story, you're going to write an equation for the story, complete the table, and then answer the questions that follow. I think there's like 3 or 4 in a cluster after each problem. So that's what you're going to do the rest of the hour. Again, I'm so looking forward to see you on Wednesday. Thank you for being so amazing. Have a great day.